Good Sunday evening, everybody. Hope you all had a great week. Um, I've had a really busy week. Just go, go, go all week long. Let's see, we got Kevin in the chat. How you doing, Kevin? Um, I don't know about where you are at, but it's been a beautiful last couple of days. Um, Today it's like 83 or 4 or something like that. So yeah, it's been beautiful. Hey, Willie CK, how you doing, bud? Thank you for stopping in, man. But yeah, so yeah, we let's see, started the week out. I actually, yeah, started the week out. Uh, Y'all seen the video? I got Plan B going, and that's the best it's fired up since I put it on methanol. So hey, Ben, how you doing, buddy? Thank you for stopping in. Uh, that thing cracked right off. It actually surprised me. I thought it would actually have to spin over more, but yeah, it it's doing good. So that timing adjustment we did, that I think that helped out a lot. Um, so I worked on that. Worked on a couple other little things there in the shop. Hey Wayne, how you doing, bud? Thank you for stopping in. Um, oh, that's cool, Willie. Glad you got it going, man. But yeah, been working on a couple other little things around the house. Um, was it Wednesday? Yeah, Wednesday. Mom called me. We had been getting some rain and stuff. I think it was Wednesday or Thursday. She got her lawnmower stuck in her back behind her pond. So I'm like, we'll just jump into heavy Chevy and go over and just pull it out. No big deal. Yeah. Hooked the strap up to it and put it 4-wheel drive. Started to attempt to back up, and it sunk straight down. It's probably sitting on the axle or sitting on the frame. So it's been sitting there all weekend because it's been too wet to get anything heavy back there to get her pulled out. So buddy of mine, it's got a Jeep with a big winch and stuff, and he does off-roading. He said he'll come over the first week when it dries up and hook the winch onto her and jerk it up out of there. So got that to look forward to. See what? Yeah, that was Wednesday or Thursday. Pedaled out in the shop and did some other stuff. And yesterday, did a side job. Took me twice as long as what it should have. It's supposed to be a front brake job, and it ended up being a rear brake job. So I had to order the parts and everything else. Let's see. Sold. Oh wow, Willie, that's a heck of a profit, man. Hey, Lisa Ann. Finally updated the computer. Finished 2 hours later. All right. Got the hated Edge. Yeah. I don't care for Edge, but so yeah, that brake job took me twice as long as what it had to because I had to wait on parts, and then well, I was supposed to have lunch with a friend of mine, and her mom had passed away earlier, and she had canceled earlier in the week. And then she messaged me and said, "Hey, I'm feeling up to it. If you want, I'd like to change. Let's, if you still want to go to lunch." So ended up having a early dinner, I guess. We got there about 4:00, 8, and just started bullshitting, talking, whatever. And 3.5 hours later, we're like, "Damn, we need to get out of here." So, yeah, that's how my day went yesterday. Then got up this morning and went down to Mark's, helped Bo pull the engine off of one tractor, put it onto another frame, got it all bolted down. It's ready to hook up and test start that one. So we didn't video any of that, switching it over. I'm not sure. Mark was out on the road, so I don't know if he's going to video first starting the engine and getting everything adjusted. But we got to pull on the second June 2nd. So that's what we're shooting for, to get that tractor done and going, which it shouldn't be any big deal. We should be able to get that going with minimal issue. I just got to do a little bit of tweaking on Plan B, and he's ready to go. So, yeah, that's basically how my week went. We had a lot of rain here earlier in the week, so I should have mowed my grass this afternoon when I got home, but I was tired. I've been running and doing, so I took about a half an hour nap. Yeah. Well, when I got home from Mark's, I went out in my garage, did some stuff, decided to sit down, and I took about a half an hour unintentional nap, ate dinner, and now we're here. So, all right. What do you guys got going on? Anything? I'm not expecting a real big crowd tonight, especially being the weather has been so nice all weekend and stuff. People are getting out of the house and getting things done. So we may do a abbreviated live stream tonight, depending on how many people we get in. So, hey, Road Runner, Mimi. So, yeah, that's basically all I got going on. Have been looking. Kevin's outside watching. Okay, Ben, cut your lawn and cut the neighbor's hedge. How much did you take off the neighbor's hedge? Did you cut it the same height as your lawn? Hey, there's Willie. How you doing, Willie?
Pretty good. I just got home, pulled in the driveway. So I just hauled 4,000 pounds worth of stuff, half mile uphill. So right now I'm just waiting for it to cool off before I shut it off so it doesn't bubble.
Oh, I'm glad that somebody actually pays attention to that kind of stuff.
It's all cast iron. It holds heat like nobody's business.
Well, I've seen people like on mowers come, full tilt in, as they're coming to a stop, throttle down and shut the key off.
Well, I have done it because the gauge would read normal, but then when you walk out of it, you'll hear it bubbling like a kettle, and it'll start spitting it out the overflow.
Nice.
I'd rather keep it in the radiator. Anyway, I was out at the Jacktown the Blue Mountain Antique Gas and Steam Engine Association Fairgrounds for the swap meet this weekend.
Oh.
So I got out there Friday afternoon, and the swap meet was Saturday and Sunday. The spot, which I think is like 25 by 25 or 20 by 20 or something like that, was $50 for the weekend. 25 if you're there on Sunday.
That's not bad.
And if you want to talk about a scramble to get stuff together to get it down there, I had a snowblower that was literally down to just the housing and sitting in pieces for over a year.
Yeah.
And my brother that owns the tractor that I put together for him needed some money to put towards 3-point attachments for his Coyote he got a couple years ago. Yeah, like a big Coyote. The tire's like 5 feet tall.
Wow.
I don't know if you know what I mean by that.
Yeah.
So I scrambled to get the snowblower together so I could sell it with the tractor because I didn't want to have to take the electric PTO off the front of it.
Right.
And I didn't want to sell it and lose a PTO and then not get the money back for it. No one's going to care what PTO's on there if all you're selling it is with a plow.
Right.
So I put the whole snowblower together Thursday night and into Friday morning and loaded it all up and got down there around 7 o'clock at night and had to unload everything out of the truck before I could even sleep in the back. So I was up late that night. I think I got sleeping around 1:30 in the morning.
Well, I was actually you talk about sleeping in the back of your truck. I was actually looking on how is that site? I can't remember. I don't remember what site it was. They got truck bed tents for like $90 for 6-foot long beds, and then they're 8 foot.
They're not cheap.
Vevor, that's what it is. Well, I looked at some other ones a couple years ago, and they're like $300 or $400,
Yeah,
and
I got a
they're
Coleman
basically
one, and it was nice because it came with the pump.
okay. This just looks like one of the pop up tents that has the bar, the fiberglass
Oh, an
bars.
Echo 10. I'm sorry. Yeah, I
Yeah,
know what you mean
yeah,
now. My brother has
and
one.
but I was looking at one, like I said, probably 3 or 4 years ago, and like I said, they wanted like $300 for them. And a friend of mine told me about these, so I went on and looked, and I'm like, huh. They don't make one for my truck, my small truck. They make them for full size, but I'm like, that's freaking awesome.
Well, thankfully, I have the fiberglass cat,
Mm-hmm.
and it's got the one that's got like a little bit of a raise on the back of it, so it's not super short. And
Yeah.
to kind of keep the sunlight out of it, I got some what do they call them, shower curtain rods. So you like set them to the size you want, and then you wedge them in place over top of the window frames.
Yeah.
And then I would use safety pins to hold the towels up to cover everything up.
Nice.
And unfortunately, even though I loaded up my catalytic heater, I didn't realize that I didn't have any propane. Oops.
Grabbed an empty tank, didn't you?
Yep. Well, I knew it was low. I didn't think it was empty.
Yeah.
Because I didn't run out the last time I used it. It's out now.
Well, I've got a friend.
As for the swap meet, I didn't do bad. I didn't do great. But I have added to my collection and haven't lost money.
Well,
so I don't know if you ever saw my video on the 7112 or not. Did you?
I think so. I haven't been watching a lot of TV period for the last like 2 or 3 weeks. So
when I bought it, I got it for $475, and it came with a snowblower that was missing the hitch. Came with a deck that had bad spindles and was also missing the belt cover and the deflector. And it also came with a plow, and it was missing the lift rod for the plow as well. It just had a piece of flat stock on it. But I had all the parts here to fix the snowblower, because I had something like 3 parts snowblowers in the back. So between those other parts snowblowers, I was able to fix these 2 snowblowers. And you're gonna laugh because the one that's on the trailer is a Frankenstein by every sense of the word. It was it started life as a 42-inch snow thrower, a single stage. But because it's a single stage, the center of it gets a lot of abrasion and a lot of rust. And it got so thin that eventually a rock actually punched a hole and hit the pulley and everything.
Okay.
It wasn't really fixable. I had a 36-inch snowblower that was not rotted out. But 36 is not very big.
No.
Especially when your tractor is every bit of 30 inches wide, you can only go in straight lines. You can't turn with that.
Right.
So I'm looking at it, and the stampings look exactly the same between the 42 and the 36. Even down to the little reinforcement ribs. Now, my grandfather started a concrete tank business, and then my Uncle Willie works there. So it's a family business, and they have a nice welder down there. And sometimes they have some free time in between things. So I asked them, it's like, hey, can you cut the sides off this 42-inch snowblower, since the sides are still good, and take the cutting edge, bolt the cutting edge, and weld the sides onto the 36-inch snowblower. And once you know it, the gosh darn thing works.
Hey.
So yeah, the center half of 36 inches is orange, and then the final couple inches on the outside are yellow, and then even the chain cover is orange.
Hey.
And then the chute deflector is yellow. It's pretty funny, but it works.
Hey,
as
all that matters is that it works. But I've been kicking around the idea of
my brother's tractor. So when I took the 7112 out, like I said, I paid $475 for it. I kept the deck, so let's say that's like $100 worth knocked off of it. So I have about $375 invested into it at that time. I paid probably $200 for all the parts snowblowers I've had, and probably another $75 for the hitch. So let's figure $375 plus $75. That would be $450 plus another $200, so $650. So I have about $650 invested into it, but I kept the plows as well, so I can sell the plow for probably $75.
Yeah.
So I more than paid for the gas and the time to transport it, and I have an extra lift rod, so I can probably sell the plows in the winter for probably $100 and
Yeah.
get
Oh,
more
yeah,
money out of it.
definitely.
I'm not losing money. I'm not making a lot of money, but I'm still happy with it because now I have a nice deck shell that's not rotted.
Yeah. And you got room for more stuff.
Do I?
Yeah. Yeah.
For some reason, the chat doesn't seem to be updating on this. I don't know why.
I don't know if anybody's saying anything.
That'd probably be why.
Yeah, that's why.
So
Yep.
I have a habit when I go down to that swap meet, I want to go take a look at the swap meet. But when you have stuff up for sale, you have
Yeah.
to be there
Right.
in case someone wants to buy something.
Right.
So to keep my mind from going around and around and around and losing my patience, I took my 17 GTH down with me. That one that had the Kohler I showed you before that was under the tarp.
Yeah.
Had a nice seat, and it didn't have a lot of wear on the runner boards. The runner boards are really clean. Like, it didn't have a whole lot of hours on it. I already had a brand new starter and carb for it. I had bought because I knew I was going to need them. When I bought that tractor, I paid $200 for it, and I knew the starter was stuck on and had been sitting for 2 years, but I was told it did run.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you know this Simplicity 17 GTH or not. They're like the Sovereigns with the Kohler commands. I don't know if you ever seen them. It's just the post twin Kohler in it. Same hood and everything. The nice thing is the frame has that cutout for the post twin Kohler.
Right.
So I want to put a V twin in there. There's more than enough room. But thankfully, the engine is actually in good shape. For the first time in who knows how long, I got in a post twin Kohler that works.
Yeah. Yeah.
Both rods are still connected. It's not knocking.
Awesome.
So I paid $200 for that tractor and $130 or something like that for the starter, and I think I got the carburetor for like $75. I save tractors.
Yeah. Yeah. That guy has a lot of parts.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I was working on that while I was passing the time, and if you want to talk about stink, I don't know what it is about mouse nests when they get soaked in. I don't know if it's like from decomposition or something, or if it's the oil, but it makes like a tar. And it's not every mouse nest that's like that, but that makes a tar. But it's like it sticks to everything. It's almost as bad of a smell as stale gas.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was sitting more than 2 years. So I got that all cleaned up, and it actually runs good. And one thing I did notice is the points gap was a little bit big. Like, it was thicker than a thumbnail. So I just wanted to hear it run at first, and sure enough, when I went to start it, it backfired. So I'm not sure if that was like late ignition or early ignition because the gap was too big. So I adjusted that, and then it didn't backfire again, even though I started up half dozen times after that. But evidently it's been backfiring for a while because it's missing an end cap off the muffler.
Yeah.
It's just not open. It's like a 3.5 or 4 inch hole. It's like, oh, that's why there's an exhaust leak.
Well, when I started Plan B up there in the video, that was actually the very first time. I mean, I hadn't started off camera or anything. It actually scared me a little bit because I was expecting it to at least turn over a little bit more than that, you know. But I think we got the timing pretty dang close. The throttle's a lot crisper. It starts up a lot nicer. So yeah, I'm hoping that we do a lot better this year.
Yeah, that's the one with the post twin Briggs, right? The Model 46.
No, that's on my pulling tractor, the V twin Kohler.
Okay.
Hi, John.
I've been so busy these last couple weeks because I've been trying to get an inspection license, and I still have to work on emissions. And I was loading all this stuff up for like a week and a half. So I've been scrambling. I haven't been able to catch up on a lot of YouTube videos. But I do have to go and check it out one of these days. There's probably 6 videos I'm behind on your channel. And I've been wanting to follow up on that Monkey Ward one.
Well, I kind of put the monkey off to the side now, since I actually got a truck and I'm actually going to go pulling this year. I needed to get Plan B done and ready to go.
I've been meaning to see a video of that truck too.
But oh, by the way, I think we named it. It's going to be the Little Blue Truck. The guy that I bought it through, we were talking the other day, and I didn't know, but there's a kid's book called The Little Blue Truck. It's a series. And he goes, I like that name. He goes, that's what you got to name. And I'm like, that's what it's going to be named.
You want to hear a funny name? Back when I was a kid, I don't know how old I was when he got rid of it. I think he got rid of it when I was like 10 years old or something like that. My dad had a square body Suburban with the barn doors, 4 doors, 454. And it was not the typical like dark emerald green you see on like the later year Chevys. It was a brighter green. Yeah. And it was always a green truck. Between me and my twin brother, it was always a green truck. Yeah,
so I think that's what we're gonna call it, the Little Blue Truck.
And then Anthony's truck that's sort of infamous now is Stinky Pete. Because I had a mouse nest in it for 8 years or so. Filled the whole dash. I'm not really good with names, though. I haven't named any of the other trucks or cars. But the reason we had to name that truck is because we had 3 Dodges at one time. So my brother had a W350, then he had the D150, and then we had my grandfather's D100. It's like, I'm going to take the pickup truck. Which one?
Yeah.
The D100. Which one? Not the 150, the 100.
Now I've got now I've got 2 blue Dodges. I got a big full-size Dodge and a short in the little Dodge. One of these days, I mean, I'm either going to sell the old Dodge or the big one, or actually break down and actually get the dang thing back on the road. I just don't have time. It would be nice if I could actually get it into a garage, but my garage isn't tall enough, and or have enough room inside. And I know
a lot of people are looking for Dodges nowadays because there's so many parts available for them, and the frames usually hold up really good on them compared to a lot of trucks. Yeah, the bodies and the tailgates rust, but you can go down south and find them pretty easy.
Yeah, well, my red one that I was going to use for pulling my trailer and stuff, the frame actually broke on it. I got to figure out what I'm going to do with it. More than likely, I'm going to pull the bed off, drop the fuel tank, patch the frame up and everything, and probably sell it just to get it gone. It all depends on how the Chevy lasts through the summer. But yeah, I got too many projects and not enough time or not enough places to work on them.
That's my problem. I can go on all day on all the projects I'd like to do, but I have to think about what my priority is. I got the 17 GTH running. I need to weld up the muffler on it, and I want to get the 48-inch deck fixed on it. Because I found one from the 70s, so I need to change out the spindle for a bigger pulley. I have one in the back I should be able to put on it. I don't think I need to do anything else with it. It seems to be running and driving. I need to get oil and a filter for it, which that actually surprised me. After I got it running, the hydro lift and the hydrostack are both working too.
Awesome.
It seems like the axle seal might be leaking on it, but I'm not 100% sure. It could have been water leaking from the seat because it was pitched to the left with a flat tire. So I'm not sure on that yet.
I actually got vacation coming up the week of Memorial Day weekend or Memorial Day. So I've got to get caught up on a lot of my project stuff. Ad break. We'll be back. But anyways, I got to get my mom's mower all serviced and new blades on it. I got to get my mower serviced and blades on it.
You'd laugh if I told you all the issues my brother Jonathan's been having with his 2004 Craftsman GT 5000 in the last month. It sits outside, though, so that doesn't help it either.
No.
When he got on it after it sat all winter, throttle cable and choke cable were working just fine. It fired right up, just fine. Started cutting grass with it, the throttle cable got stuck. Kept on cutting grass with it, now the choke cable got stuck. Continued cutting grass with it, Now it's pitching the drive belt off. Not to mention the center blade kept coming loose, so we had to replace the center spindle on it, which I kind of had a feel. We had a heads up that we had spindle issues from last year. We were kind of like keeping it going with a hope and a prayer, tightening up bolts as tight as we could get because the stars were rounded out. So this spring we had ordered a whole deck kit with the drive pulleys, the idler pulleys, the spindles and blades, and got to get Oregon blades because they're like the best ones out there. Didn't splurge for the Gator blades though. That deck actually works pretty good. It's pretty deep, so that one doesn't plug up bad.
Well, that's what I got for my
the Gator blades on that one.
Well, that's what I got for my my Cub. I bought the Gator blades. My mom's, I bought just high lift blades for hers.
Well, the Craftsman GT18s, they only have like a corner bent up. It's not like the whole back of the blade; it's just the corner bent up, and it's only bent up maybe a half inch. Those GT18 44-inch decks were designed to be mulching decks, not high volume decks.
Yeah.
So having the Gator blades on that has obviously extra those 3 fins instead of just one, and it throws the grass out instead of like picks it up, so it tends to process grass a lot better. And a friend of mine, I recommended the blades to him. I can't remember if he put on his 318 or 400, but he said that thing's never cut grass so good since he bought it, and they've had that since it was new.
Well, that's all we run it.
Of the buying blades from the dealer.
Well, that's the only thing we run at work on our recycling decks is the Gator style blades. And honestly, I buy those on Amazon, and I get like 3 sets. Yeah, 3 sets of blades for the price of 1 set of blades from the dealer. And I usually buy 6 sets at a time.
What's the average price for them? Because I think I paid about $12 or $16 per blade. So that's about $45 for the 3 of them.
When I order the whole set, it's like $150 for the whole, 6 sets, something like that. So
they're probably paying even half of what I'm paying.
Yeah, but like I said, I buy them in bulk.
You buy them in bulk, so they're shipping a whole box out to you, so they don't even have to repackage or anything like that. They probably come in a pack of a dozen.
Yeah, I think that's what either 9 or they either come in 9 or 12. I forget what they come in. I buy them like once a year in the spring. So
I have to admit, the best aftermarket manufacturer I've found for parts, even for my 1990 Craftsman, they still sell the spindles for it, is Oregon. Yeah. I've never had a single problem with any of the Oregon products.
Well, I buy these off of Amazon, and it's the same company every year because I got them saved in my my list. Yep. And every like spring or whatever, I still haven't done it yet this year. I'll probably wait till after July 1st because we still got a few left. But same company, I go on, and click it, and 3 days later they're all there.
I was lucky when I bought a rolling chassis. For whatever reason, I decided to pull the motor out, the 20 horsepower Kohler. I have a Craftsman GT6000, like a 91, 92. They were probably thinking they were going to get more money if they sold the engine by itself versus the whole tractor or something. I don't know the whole deal on it. I bought the tractor for like 100 or 150 or something like that. And the guy gave me 3 brand new Gator blades and 2 brand new spindles with it. So I got my money's worth just in the parts, and then I got the rolling chassis for free.
Oh yeah.
The spindles are like $50 to $70 a piece.
Well, you were talking about that throttle and choke cables on our Hustler mowers at work. They come with a plastic casing over them. Well, the way that Hustler routes
water in, they're terrible.
It's not the water we have an issue with. It's the routing of them. They route them down by the exhaust. That plastic melts and gets inside. So whenever they go bad, I order aftermarket ones and get the ones without the plastic sheathing on them. And yep. I just shoot them down with some lube, before I put them on. Just work them back and forth and soak them and everything else.
I like the old style metal cables. They last a good long while and they're easy to change out. I especially like it when
Right.
they thread in on each end instead of are crimped in, but you don't see those
Yep.
anymore. That's stuff from like the 70s and earlier.
Right. And well, for the choke cables, I just been buying automotive ones from Napa uh, and putting those ones on it, and they don't have the sheathing over them, and they seem like they've actually lasted a whole lot longer than the ones with the plastic casings on them.
I had a problem, and I've never had it with regular metal cables. It seems to always be the ones that are plastic coated. In the wintertime, I think they get moisture in them and then they freeze and get stuck. But
Yeah.
when you run the motor for a half an hour or 45 minutes, they thaw out. And I've tried covering them up. I've tried spraying them with oil to kind of keep the water out, and nothing seems to work on them until you get them warm. So I got in the habit of leaving it at half throttle when I shut them off for the winter.
Right. They don't run these zero turns in the winter, so haven't had a problem with that.
Yep.
I did have a guy message me on I think it was on Facebook. Yeah, I think it was on Facebook. He seen my video on the Ventrek engine mounts, and he wanted to know if I had a part number for it. I'm like, well, no, I don't have a part number, but if it's the right serial number, if it's the early serial numbers, if you try to order motor mounts for it, that number will supersede to the upgrade kit. And so he must have went and did it. And because he messaged me back about a week or so later, he goes, you know what? He goes, my dealer didn't even know that. They must have never had an issue with one. Then they must have not sold any of the ones that have the bad engine mount design. Hey, Tommy, how you doing?
I wonder if it might depend on implement. Maybe some implements put more impact on the engine mounts than others.
No, it was the design of the original engine mounts. They get soft, has the diesel motor in them. They get soft, and the engine sits down in and rides on a cross member and wears in the oil pan. The new design has a lower cross member and different style rubber mounts.
So it's sag even if you weren't using it then.
It sags all the time, and the vibration of the motor is what actually will rub a hole in your oil pan.
Yeah, and the best part about that is you can't even see it.
Exactly, until you lose oil pressure. Or when you park it, you get an oil drip. But if you think, because when you look down in there and look at it, you can't see that it's rubbing the oil pan. What it looks like is they have a remote oil drain. It's like a banjo bolt style fitting that bolts into the original oil drain plug. It looks like it rubs that, which it does, and that's what it looks like it's leaking, but it's not. It's right there at that cross member. And after I got ours off, I actually had to order a new oil pan, and I started looking at it and cleaned it up good with brake clean. I was pretty damn close to having an oil hole in the oil pan, and you'll never see that oil running out while the motor's running because it's right behind the dash pan, and it goes straight down. So it'd be back under the machine, and we use them for snow, and they usually only make one pass down a sidewalk, so that oil trail will be behind them, and they'll never see it until the motor starts knocking or whatever.
I might crash when I have a buzzer hooked up to the oil pressure light.
Well, these have lights and stuff, and they're supposed to buzz, but I really don't want to run a diesel motor out of oil.
Yeah, because it might. But before you lose pressure, there's probably other damage done.
Yeah. Yep. So, but yeah, they know it's an issue because they put the upgrade kit on, but they're not doing a recall on them. So it is what it is.
How many hours do they go before they start to rub?
That one had, and that's the only one with that serial number. All the other ones are have the newer upgraded things on it. I think that one had like I want to say like 1,500 hours or something on it.
Yeah, that's. And what year is the machine?
That one would have been 2020, 2019, something like that.
So they don't sit at idle; they're going almost every day.
Yeah, and that's all snow removal. That one actually never had we have a mower deck we can put on them, That one never had the knower deck on it.
You're
It was
telling me they want zero snow on the sidewalks, and they like the brushes because it gets them right down to the bare pavement.
Yep.
So once it starts snowing and it gets over a certain threshold, you guys are just going nonstop. So the snow
yes.
stops.
Yep.
I remember you talked about that before on a couple streams.
Yep. Hi, Kane. How you doing, bud? Yeah, there's a zero tolerance, and I've actually seen our grounds department out from like 4:30 in the morning till right about 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon because it keeps just barely, snowing, or because we put a lot of salt on the sidewalks, it'll snow just enough that it covers the salt. It's still melting underneath, still working. It's not sticking, but it gets that layer of snow on there, and they don't want, all it takes is foot traffic, and it'll melt. But they don't want that. They want the sidewalks pristine and clear, so they go out and brush it and put more.
I've had a snowstorm that at one point was dropping like 2 inches an hour. Actually, two different storms did it, but one was in 2017, but one was this year. I mean, it dropped like 9 inches or 11 inches and just overnight. But it was slow for the start, and then it got really fast, and it slowed down again. What do you do if it drops faster than you can process it?
We've had
that. Hey, just so you know, we're not going to keep them 100% clean.
We've had that happen, and you basically, instead of doing, because our sidewalks are a minimum of 6 feet wide, the brushes are 4.5 they're 5 foot wide technically. You make one pass down the middle, and there's 6 brushes. There's 6 different areas, and you just keep going, doing your main sidewalks as best you can, hit the outlying ones, come back, and just keep going over and over and over and over again.
How many brushes do they run at one time?
6 of them.
Boy, that fuel adds up quick.
Yeah.
So you guys probably are burning close to 12 gallons a day, if not more.
The Toros have a 7 or 7.5 gallon tank, and in a normal, cleaning and everything like that, they'll burn about 5 gallons worth of fuel. When we're doing an all day cleaning, basically we'll go out for like 3 hours or so, and then we'll come back for like a break, get warm, get something to drink or whatever, top the tank off, and just keep going. We try not to run them turn down to empty. So, but years back, we had football playoff games. I started at 4 o'clock in the morning cleaning sidewalks. At 5:30, they said they needed to practice the incoming team because we were hosting. They needed to practice on the football field, so we started cleaning the football field. They never got to practice on the main field, but we were brushing it for 24 hours to keep the snow off of it.
But they didn't get a chance to use it.
The snow ended by 7 o'clock the next morning. We had 2 tractors on it for 24 hours. They never left the football field. They actually brought fuel up to the stadium. We pulled them outside, dumped fuel in them, went right back in. We started in the middle and worked our way to the end zones from the outside, come right back and did it again. Kept going back and forth across the field.
Yep.
They had front end loaders and skid steers along the side, scooping the snow away, pushing it clear down past the end zones, just so we had some place to do it. Hi, Jeff.
They burned more fuel than I thought they would, because I figured they were like 18 horsepower, and they probably would only be burning maybe a third to, worst case scenario, a half a gallon an hour.
Well, the Toros have
evidently the hydraulics in the brush takes a little more fuel than I thought. It's not like a lawnmower deck where it's just basic bearings.
Yeah,
they're moving fluid nonstop.
Right. Yep, they are. How you doing, Jeff? You feeling better, bud?
Kinda.
Good.
You were missed.
You're looking better.
For you. I thought I saw you for a second, and I had to remember. Oh, he was in the hospital last week or the other day. So I wasn't sure if
Well,
you
now
made
I'm
it
in the
out.
rehab place.
I'm sorry, what?
Now I'm in the rehab place.
Oh, okay.
Good.
Sitting in
They
front
getting you
right here.
taken care of.
Well, let's just say this place leaves a lot to wish for.
Or do they have good looking nurses? That's the question.
Are you kidding me?
Hey, I know some nurses that work in rehab places. They're pretty good looking nurses.
Oh well, you should send them this way.
Huh? When my after my dad had his stroke and we he was in rehab and stuff. I like to go and visit him.
So I'm
It's pretty
wondering,
cute.
will he go down to the swap meet this week?
Yep.
Yeah, is there anything good there?
I didn't. I was working on my my own tractor, so I didn't go wandering off. So I'd be there in case anyone bought anything.
Oh,
Because I took some stuff down to sell. So I sold 2 push mower gas tanks, $1 each, and then, believe it or not, I had a lawn tractor gas tank. It looked like it was from a Murray or something like that. So it was just a rectangle with screw slots on either side to mount it in. I had it in the trash bucket, and a guy comes over and asks, like, "Hey, is this for sale?" Well, technically, I was throwing it away because it has junk gas in it. I didn't want to sell it because I didn't want it to spill in someone's car and stink it up. So, I'll take it. Well, you can have it for free. He's like, "No, I'll pay you for it." Okay, fine. I guess $1. It's got a good cap on it anyway. So I sold another tank for $1, and then I sold a couple fuel caps. So I didn't make any money on that stuff, but I did sell my 7112 with the snowblower for $675. And the
good.
guy left the plows behind, so I can sell those for probably $100 with my extra lift rod next winter.
Huh.
Get some money out of it. I paid. Actually, I think I'd be going on for quite a while, but I think I had, by the time I bought the tractor and got all the implements, I had probably 700 into it, but I kept the deck and the plows. So that knocked down my overall investment was about 600, 575 or something like that. So I made about $50 to $100 profit. So more than covered the gas going all over. And I can put that towards something else.
Well, there you go. I had somebody I know lives down here by me ask me if I was going up there this weekend. I said, no, we don't go there no more. We have no need to go up there
For the swap meet, you mean?
for anything up there.
You won't go to the July show either?
Nope.
Aw.
Nope. I was told last time I was told by somebody one time that you're not wanted here.
For volunteer work, I could see that, but not even, you don't want to participate in flea market or anything?
I got nothing to really sell. The only thing I got to sell really is that cultivator set and that one bottom plow. I used that once and the beam was bent. It's like that thing's junk. I can't get it I can't get the moldboard to go straight and actually roll dirt. It's like it just rips. And it's got just enough of a bend in it. You could see it, but it's like not good enough to put an impressor or something and try and straighten it.
And you can't change the hitch point to turn it at all either, can you?
No. I know I've been watching eBay. There's some guy down Perth Amboy down here. He's had a 3-point Brindley plow for sale for the past year or so. Brand new on the pallet still. But it's like I ain't got $500 to buy it, or I would.
Yeah, all the money I made on that Simplicity is going to be going towards some other stuff. Like I got to buy propane. I got to pay for a computer because I don't have a computer. Because I need to do some. I need to read literature for schooling. I need a computer in order to read it because on the cell phone it cuts the sides off even in desktop mode.
Yeah, my Dell laptop that I bought a few years back, the hard drive quit spinning. So, yeah, I'm down to no laptop now. That's why I haven't done any lives from the shop. because I don't have nothing out there that I can live stream from besides my phone, and I don't like doing it on my phone. So
Thankfully, my manager at work used to work at a cell phone store, and he's always worked with gaming computers over the years. He's in his 40s, so he was in gaming before me. So I have to talk to him to see what kind of computer would be good for the price, and I need something that's going to be good for processing because I want to import a bunch of DLC that's no longer available online onto my Xbox for. They call it retro gaming, which I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Should be more classic gaming, because when I think of retro, I think of looking at old antique movies and seeing what they thought the future was going to look like. I thought that's what retro was supposed to be. So when you like see the spaceships in Flash Gordon, that was the retro look. So you're gonna make something today that looked like the spaceships from Flash Gordon. That would be what I would call. I thought was retro, but now retro is now classic gaming, which makes no sense to me. But yeah, Guitar Hero is what I play, and it's outdated anymore. But there is a Fortnite festival now. But I know that's probably over your guys' heads.
I don't game. I haven't gamed I haven't gamed since Diablo 1 came out.
I haven't heard of that one.
And I was actually a year behind on that. So
you want to hear something really funny? I'm sure you've heard of the advertising for Halo back when Xbox 360 was new.
Yeah.
My brother got a Halo Edition Xbox 360, and we got Halo 2. The dang thing didn't even last 2 years. So he bought another one, and that one died. Then Halo 3 came out. He's like, screw it. I'm not buying another Xbox. Meanwhile, I had PlayStation 3 for over 11 years and never had a problem with it. Up until it had something that would go bad when it would get hot. So it would run for like 5-10 minutes. It would get hot and then shut off, and then you'd have to reboot it. And unfortunately, I couldn't get to save the memory onto another PlayStation because it would run for 5-8 minutes and then shut off. I wish I knew I was a computer guy, but my coworker actually said, you probably could have stuck that PS3 into a freezer and saved all your data out of it.
Well,
who would ever think that?
Well, this laptop was refurbished when I bought it. I mean, it's a nice laptop, but I was looking into it. I can buy the actual hard drive for it because you can pop them in and out the side of it. I can actually buy that hard drive for like $35. Same hard drive that's in it. I would have more in buying the Windows software than I have in the computer. So yeah, I'll probably just end up buying a new refurbished laptop.
I don't remember what computer it is at work that my coworker uses. It's been there for over 15 years. And the computer still works pretty good, but it sometimes gets seizures or brain farts. Seizures is when it like pauses for a second, then all of a sudden it has to catch back up with itself. Or if it has like a brain fart, it'll kick you out of something or just stop. Wonder what's going on and do something weird. So, and I was talking to him, like, why don't you get another computer? And he was actually saying, when you're streaming music all day, every day, like what he does, he plays like iHeartRadio or satellite, whatever XM radio or satellite XM, whatever they call them.
Yeah.
He has quite a few different radio streaming and podcasts that he plays. A lot of computers won't put up with that on a daily basis.
Right. I've got an
you could buy a hard drive on a new computer in 3 years doing that kind of stuff.
Well, I've got an old tablet that I got from Verizon probably about 8 years ago, probably now. That's what I use at work, and I got a little Bluetooth speaker. I stream Pandora on it because I get free Wi-Fi. Yeah, it's slow sometimes. Sometimes it's a little glitchy and shuts off and everything else, but better than having no music at all.
Yep. But he was saying he's afraid to replace it because he doesn't know if anything he gets is going to be much better.
Yeah.
In the long term. Mm-hmm. And that also has a bunch of different websites that's saved in it. So if he's looking for something for lunch or supper or whatever, or if he has to order parts or something like that, everything is in that. It's right in the middle of the shop.
Well, I talked to a couple of the IT guys at work. I'm going to wait. They're real busy right now since the students have just left. They're upgrading systems and stuff like that, trying to get everything going. But the one guy said that he might be able to recover this hard drive and put it onto an external hard drive for me. Since I don't,
Save the data.
yeah, since I don't use it as like a normal laptop, taking it everywhere, it just sits on either on my desk or on my cart out the shop. He said it would be fine with an external hard drive. Just pull the original one out. He has a thing that he can put hard drives into, and make them spin and stuff like that. And he said he might possibly be able to cover all the windows and everything. Basically, just copy that hard drive onto an external, and then he would just have to set the laptop up to boot off the external hard drive instead of the internal. But like I said, right now they're upgrading all kinds of systems and wires and all that.
You want
kind
to hear
of stuff.
something funny? My coworker, who's always had a computer, he's actually, even when he was in school, used computers to auto spell correct all of his work before he turned it in. So for him, having a computer around is like a third arm because he's used to working with them.
Mm-hmm.
And I told him, it's like, I don't use computers. I don't even have a computer at home. And then he's like, what? You're 32 years old and you don't have a computer? Like, no. The closest thing I had to a computer for the longest time was my PS3, and then now my cell phone. And desktop mode only gets you so far.
I didn't have I didn't personally have a computer at home for probably 12 years. My ex had one. And when she left, she had a little laptop I bought her. When she left, she took that, and I went for probably almost a year without a computer. Just my cell phone and my work computer. And then finally I decided that I needed something, so I bought a cheap laptop. That's what I actually started YouTube and stuff on. Well, actually, I started my YouTube on my tablet, and then bought the old Lenovo, Lenovo laptop, and then I upgraded to a Dell, and then I upgraded to my desk computer.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're kind of skipping
Uh,
frames there, Jeff.
Thomas. Yeah, it's
Fading
getting
away.
ready to
I can't
dump
quite
me.
hear
I can
everything.
see
I'm sorry,
that.
Jeff.
I think she's getting ready to dump me here.
Okay. I'm reading Ben's messages there. I did not know that, Ben. I will have to look into that. I'll actually talk to the IT guys at work. That would be cool. It's actually got a Windows tag on the back of it, so I'm like I said, I'm not computer literate. I'm very, very computer illiterate. So
I'm sure I'm worse. I'm not afraid to admit it.
I've got to be a little computer literate because of work, but other than that, but to fix things like this, nah. I would like to get my Lenovo fixed, but it took a voltage spike during a storm, so it won't even try to turn on.
You want to hear some funny story?
I can
we
run
live
mine
next to a
good
cell
enough.
phone tower on a mountain. Oh, I'm sorry, Jeff.
I can run mine good enough to find the stuff I need to know. Like if I go on the Cub Cadet websites and stuff like that, the Wheel Horse websites, I can find the service books and the parts books and stuff.
Yeah, I used to do that at work. Download all that stuff and put it on a disk or whatever, and that way it wasn't on my work computer. But now when I do it, I just upload it to a cloud.
I wish I could find websites that would just give you the old Wisconsin manuals. Like one page will show you the breakdown, give you all the part numbers for everything and number below it and the page after. I wish I could find that for all my Briggs engines, but they went to these images with bubbles, and you select the bubbles to go and look at everything. And if they don't have a part number, they don't even show you the old part number anymore. They only show you what was available. It's like, well, at least show me the unavailable part numbers too, so I can at least search eBay. They don't do that anymore.
It's probably been 5 or 6 years ago. I actually found a website. It's not there no more. They shut it down. But it had every Briggs & Stratton parts and service manual up to that date. Free download PDF. Dude, I don't know how many CDs I filled downloading those and burning them onto CD. And like I said, it had, and Briggs actually shut them down. It was somebody that was doing it on their own. They scanned them and uploaded them to this website for free because they were the only ones at the time that wasn't giving away their service manuals and stuff.
You know what really drove me nuts for the longest time is finding the Briggs manual that covers the synchro balance gears for the cast iron Briggs engines. Because they have a external balance gear on the outside of the block. It's not on the inside. There's one hole you put a pin in to hold the one gear, and then there's another hole you take a bolt out, you put another pin to hold the weight. And I've been trying to find a manual that not only covers the timing, but also the torque spec for those bolt-on pieces, because most of them will tell you, oh, the sum cover is torqued to this. Okay, but what about the counterweight cover that has the different bolts on it, not just the seal retainer? Because they're different bolts entirely on the PTO side. Took me a while to find that one.
If I was home early, I'm pretty sure I got that book.
I got one now, but the stupid thing is it's a picture of a push mower in the front, not the big cast iron Briggs end.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit misleading.
Yeah, I don't even know where those discs are at now. They're probably at work in my drawer with all my other CDs that are in there. But yeah, I also
bought a 100-page book for the Simplicity parts for mine just recently, or I have it in my cart on eBay or something like that. I have to go look, but I bought a big, huge, fat book for my Simplicity 7100, and I'm hoping that has information for all of the mule drives for everything, like the ones that connect to the frame that would hold a belt or something like that. It's hard to find the part numbers for that stuff to actually find the correct pulleys online.
Right.
I've been having a hard time finding that information.
Well, I think I still have them at work too. When I started there 3 years ago now, they had a whole bookshelf full of like Tecumseh manuals and Peerless manuals and all that hard copy manuals, never been opened, all up on the shelf that if they bought a piece of equipment, they bought a repair manual to go with it.
I bet you if it's still wrapped Tecumseh stuff, they're selling for probably good money. I had so many people at the swap meet asking me about Tecumseh parts, it's not even funny. And I didn't even think about it, but it makes sense. Like you used to see Tecumseh stuff everywhere, but I think Tecumseh stuff is getting more and more difficult with every passing year. You just don't see it anymore. Because not only is there less of it out there, people are hoarding it.
Yeah.
Kind of like what I am doing, but in my defense, I usually keep the parts for the stuff I run, and I'm evolving from 5 and 6 horsepower stuff up to the bigger 8 and 10 horsepower stuff. So now I have surplus of the smaller horsepower stuff I need to go through and put it out for sale or something.
Well, I've got one 14-horse overhead valve Tecumseh, and I've got one 18-horse overhead valve Tecumseh. That's the only two Tecumsehs I have left.
I'm sure that 18-horse is worth a lot of money nowadays.
It probably is, but it's actually it's on a Sears tractor.
Original?
Yeah. It's the same one that Nate has, the twin in. It's the same body style, but it's an original. It come with the 18-horse Tecumseh in it.
Was it blue or yellow?
Silver.
Silver? Well, you'll see the silver ones very often. They usually had those Onan engines in them.
Yep. And I know it's an original engine because I know the guy that owned it before me, and he bought it brand new from Sears, and he never changed the motor on. What's wrong with it is the magneto is going bad. Run for a while, get hot, shuts off, then it comes back. You know.
As awkward as the channel is, that does have good content. The Tyrell Fixes All has a video on fixing those because he had a Super 10 that someone must hook the battery backwards up or something like that, and then he had to show how you can put modern ignition into them. There's a conversion kit for them. There's
a conversion kit for them, but there's also, you can use a Dodge or a Chrysler, what do they call them things that were on the firewall? The module
ignition box, module box.
Yeah. And you make a crank trigger up, a bracket to hold a crank trigger that kicks off the magnet on the flywheel, and you use that box. Bye, Jeff.
That's kind of clever.
Mm-hmm. But, you know,
just make sure you have some sort of a light, because they don't like it if you leave the key on, because they get hot. They ground the coil all the time. Right. They open the circuit when they're demanded. They don't close it. So
right. So
makes it easy to test though, because the light will stay red when you know you have voltage. A test light, if you test it from battery positive to the ground, or not, yeah, something like that. You can put the battery on the different battery, or the test light on different battery posts, and put it, and you'll see the light stay on when you have voltage or signal, and you'll see it flicker when it triggers. Something like that.
All right, y'all. It's been the hour. You know what that means. We're going to shut her down. Hope you all had a great day. Hope you had a great week, and hope you're having an even better one coming up. And we will catch you all on the next one. And have a good one. See y'all later.
See ya.
Love, peace, crackling grease. Pluta.